We know evangelical Christians for a long time have been doing all the wrong things for people who claim to be moral, people who claim to support human beings and what's best for the average human being. Well, it turns out that Billy Graham, Granddaughter, really thinks the same way as well. So let's listen to what she has to say and then move on from there.
Joining me now is the granddaughter of the late evangelical leader Billy Graham, Jerushah Duford. She was recently profiled by the New York Times on why she is voting for Joe Biden, even though she voted Republican for most of her life. I first want to get your reaction to the story I just read as I came to you. 545 kids in this country right now that are separated from their parents. Some of these children so young that they have spent more time in custody here in the United States than they have with their own parents. And they cannot find their parents. I know back in 2018, when there was family separation, a lot of Christian organizations were up in arms over that. Do you think this type of story could affect the vote on November 3rd?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would hope so. I think this is a story that obviously breaks my heart. It should break the heart of everyone, especially evangelicals. Scripture is so clear with us about how we should handle refugees, how we should handle orphans. And it's not really an option for our faith to just turn a blind eye to these kind of things.
I want to read for you some polling here. There was a recent Pew with white evangelical Protestants, 78% of them voting for Donald Trump. White non-evangelical Protestants, 53%. White Catholics, 52%. You have said in this New York Times profile that you are voting for Joe Biden. Why?
You know, I mean, I have to make my decisions based on if my goals as a Christian, as an evangelical, is to show God's love to other people. I need to vote for the candidate who I think is going to make that bridge easier. I think that Trump has just caused so much division in the last 4 years. He's caused division in the country. He's also caused division in the church. And it's just something that I think has actually really given the evangelical church a bad name. And I think we were kind of hanging on by a string anyways. And so for me, what's valuable to me is teaching others and showing others about Jesus. And I think that the policies and the character of Biden just aligns more with that.
So some of the Christian voters that I've spoken to that are voting for Donald Trump have said they're voting for him because of the Supreme Court. They voted for him back in 2016 because of the Supreme Court. They're voting for him now because of the Supreme Court and because of their views on abortion. How do you, as an evangelical Christian, reconcile your views on abortion with voting for Joe Biden?
For me, pro-life does not just mean life inside the womb. Pro-life means different things as far as what we just talked about at the border. Healthcare, poverty, homelessness, all of these things show that for me, if you're going to be pro-life, you've got to be pro-adoption and pro-foster care. I wish that the Republicans would value life outside the womb more. So I just don't think pro-life is, anti-abortion, pro-life are two different things.
For those who are evangelical Christians, the question is always, what would Jesus do? And what we find out is when we find out based on the scripture what Jesus would do, in today's world, Jesus would be considered a progressive. And she just articulated it perfectly in her commentary right there. So folks, there are good people leading in the evangelical movement. We just need better leaders so that they can direct their pew appropriately. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.